Hi, everyone, and welcome to Waste World. My name is Stephanie Valentic, editor of Waste 360, and I'm here with Gage, our content producer. This is a special edition of Waste World. This week, we'll be previewing what's going on at WasteExpo, talking about the sessions, the conference, the expo, Las Vegas, everything. It's going to be big.
It's going to be an awesome time. I'm very excited to be back in Las Vegas for WasteExpo. Can't wait. We are a week away from when this podcast releases. A week away.
A week away, and we're all ready to go. We're gearing up. We're getting ready to podcast on site. We're getting ready to talk to a lot of you, a lot of networking opportunities here. We're looking forward to seeing you. Some of you we don't see, all year, and this is the only place we see you. So this is like our, this is our, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Gage. This is like our, this is our big, not just our big event, but like, I just love being able to come back and see everybody face to face. So.
It is the culmination, I'm sure I said that wrong, of a year of just like, here's everything we've been working on, and let's all meet up. It's almost like the Super Bowl of waste and recycling, just like the big events that everyone just like gravitates towards, and everyone from all walks of the industry is at this event. So it's a very exciting time.
Yeah, and the great thing about it, there's so many, over the past year, there's so many trends that are happening in the waste and recycling industry. Everything from EPR, legislative issues, to batteries and battery fires and e-waste, to AI and technology and how that's impacting the industry. There are just so many topics. And, with our conference program, we're going to, hit on 90 plus sessions where you can get into depth about any of these topics, and not even the ones I mentioned, the big ones. So, I mean, there's something for everybody at this conference, which I'm super excited about. Gage, what sessions are you actually moderating this year?
I'm moderating 3 sessions this year. I'm taking on a expanded role a little bit because normally I do at least one. But now I've got 3. Of course, I'm hosting again or moderating in the Rising Leaders Talk Trash session that features several 40 under 40 award winners joining the stage to talk about leadership in the industry, how they got here, what makes a good teammates in the waste industry. It's a really insightful panel learning from these young professionals who are making waves in the waste industry to kind of share that knowledge with the rest of the industry. I am also leading a Cleaner Streets, Smarter Routes panel that is all about how AI is shaping waste collection and the data behind it, and making curbside collection smarter through AI, whether that's route optimization, AI on the trucks, contamination reduction, all walks of AI impacting collection. And then to cap it off on Wednesday, I believe this is on Wednesday, check me if I'm wrong, is the International Forecast is Bright session, the new tech and processes around abound. So that is bringing together several speakers who are international guests of WasteExpo to talk about things that they're doing in their own countries and how that's either impacting or how they're learning from how the U.S. infrastructure is, and what they're doing to reduce waste around the world. So all walks of things for me. So it's leadership, it's AI, it's what's going on outside of our U.S. bubble. So a lot going on for me this year.
Yeah, would you say it's a full 360?
It is a full 360. It is a full 360 for me. So I am very excited. I'm very honored to be asked to be on these panels with some really smart folk who will no doubt teach me something about what's going on that maybe I'm overlooking right now, but also teach the rest of the rooms that we're in. I'm excited.
Oh no, absolutely, same here. And I'm also very honored to host it or moderate a couple sessions here this year as well. I'm hosting a battery fire panel called Charged and Dangerous, and that'll be on Wednesday. And that's really just we're really going to get in depth with haulers, with people with companies in the industry. To talk about, what are the dangers, not only the dangers of battery fires, but what are those major, contributors to battery fires in facilities? Is it vapes? Is it not vapes? Is it small devices? Is it big devices? Is it even e-waste? So, I mean, we're really going to try and get in depth here and just and go, and just take battery safety to the next level, which is what I'm really excited for. And then on the other side, I'm also hosting a wasted food policies panel here in partnership with Divert, who graciously, they asked me to moderate. And I said absolutely. They just entered a collaboration with the Zero Food Waste Coalition on a and the Harvard Law School Food Law and Policy Clinic on the launch of a food waste legislation. I cannot talk today.
That's okay.
Too many words because we have so much going on.
So much going on.
Yeah, but they launched a legislative tracker to kind of go state by state and see what are the policies in each state for food recovery and for food waste. So we're going to be exploring that, and I'm really excited to kind of dive into that as well. And as you can see, just between the two of us and the sessions that we're moderating, there's so many different topics that are being hit on at WasteExpo this year.
Yeah, we're just scratching the surface with what we're covering, but like you said, there's sessions all week long, about 90 of them. You're going to learn something in each one of them. They're going to cover different topics. And I think if you just stuck to the session program at Waste Expo, you would walk away with a wealth of knowledge. But lucky for us, that's not all that Waste Expo offers. So we're going to have a ton of other stuff in between these sessions that we're hosting and the ones that we're sitting in on to kind of get our own content and knowledge from some other speakers. And then beyond that, we have the show floor. We have all the special events. We have all the tours we have this year, all the offerings of Waste Expo, not to mention, we're going to be in Las Vegas. There's got to be a lot going on.
Yes, yes. I mean, and it's like Vegas never sleeps, waste never sleeps. I mean, there's always something
We
going
never
on.
sleep.
Yes, absolutely. But I mean, let's talk about a little bit, let's go past the sleep here and talk about the fun. Let's talk about the welcome party. I mean, like you've been to a couple. This is I mean, it's every year it's just a different, it's a different setting, but like same fun atmosphere, just people relaxing and not necessarily talking about waste, but just having a good time and catching up with each other.
Yeah, the welcome reception does seem to be like if this is like the after party of the Super Bowl of Waste Expo, even though it happens on Monday, happens the first day, but it kind of gets people ready to like, okay, we come in, we learn all day with our sessions, then we go to the after party, the welcome reception, which ends up being this big blow off of hanging out, seeing your buddies, seeing people you haven't seen in a year because everyone is, communicating over email or Teams or whatever it is. And, it's we put the business aside for a second and we just have a good time connecting and networking and learning that like, oh, this is the more person side of Waste Expo, and this is how we can have fun together. And this year's welcome reception features a pretty big get. We, in the past couple of years, it's just been like, fun locations, fun times to be each other. But now the entertainment has stepped up.
Oh no, absolutely. I am so excited for OAR. We were just, we've been talking about this as soon as we found out. It's something that I still remember, I still go back. I listen to them every on occasion still. They were huge when I was in college. And I even remember like even in high school, Love and Memories, and you have Crazy Game of Poker. Hey Girl, you have all these hits that they have, and it's really cool that they're going to be in town to play for our welcome party.
Yeah, the OAR wave missed me completely. I was not an OAR person. I'm down to listen to them live. I like live music, so there's no hate, obviously. But that never crossed my path. I have heard their Shattered song before, and it looks like, according to Spotify, they just put out a song this year, so they got some new music as well. So good on them. I'm excited to see them. I'm excited to see what it's all about. I'm excited to just kind of be there and have this marquee event that people are definitely going to be talking about for a while.
Oh no, absolutely. It's absolutely going to be a blast. And we have other events that are going on at the expo, like Trashin', for instance. I know it's complete opposite of what we just talked about, but
Still a fun time.
still a fun time. And it's still people dressing up. But the great thing about it is how it's upcycling and these designers that come out with the different materials, the pop can tabs, you know, uh, not even just fabrics, but aluminum foil, things like that, that make these outfits that look like they're runway ready. And that's what's so cool about this fashion show.
Trashing is maybe the thing that I look forward to the most when we get our pictures back from Waste Expo, because our photography team and our video team do such an incredible job capturing what hits the runway during trashing, and seeing the outfits that these designers are able to come up with, whether it is using, like you said, just discarded materials like aluminum or pop tabs, whatever. I think last year the person that won was kind of decked out in a chainmail get up that was made of I think just recycled tin and other metals and stuff. But it's just seeing like fabrics that have been discarded or thrown or kind of taken to a thrift store that had no use for somebody else anymore, and turning that into a evening ball gown or a nice Sunday outfit or something that you like, oh, this becomes everyday wear that somebody wanted to throw away. So I really love those pictures and I really love that event. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that again this year. Trashing is one of the things that I think is a must see if you're on the show floor, just because it is so unique, and it is it's also a learning process. You know, you can learn more. Textile is one of the largest growing sources of waste that we have right now, and seeing how all those textiles can be repurposed is a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just, it's not just a fashion show. You really do learn a lot, as the models walking down the runway, you're hearing about the types of materials that were used, but also you're getting those stats, and you're actually gaining knowledge. Wow, and maybe something or you didn't know about, what, waste stream, what is this material? How much is it wasted? Just things as simple as that. And, just learning the impact of, what happens when we throw something in the trash when we could reuse it, when we don't, or reducing our waste to begin with, going zero waste, things like that. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible. So
Yep.
I mean, like you said, it's one of the things that I was fortunate to attend last year, and I saw it and it blew my mind.
Yep. And friend of the podcast, Kristen Kender, will be at one of the MCs for this. So make sure you say, "Hey, good on you for being on the Waste World podcast." So I'm sure she'll appreciate it.
Going to a couple other events, we have also the EREF auction, which is also very talked about. They have every year they have some great packages, some great things for the silent auction. And you know what? It's just like, and even there, people are enjoying themselves. It's not about out betting each other. It's about, raising money for research, raising money for this foundation that really tries to put the industry forward at every level.
What I like about the EREF auction is before the auction happens, they have all the auction, the items for auction listed, and I like to walk around and think like, oh, I could afford this, I could afford this, and I'm just fantasizing, obviously, because I'm like, I'm going to be priced out of these immediately. But like, oh, would those tickets to a football game be fun? Yeah, absolutely. Maybe I'll raise it. No, I won't do it. There's no way, because the money goes up quickly because it goes to a good cause, and that people are happy to spend it. But I'm like, this would be fun to have. I would like this. Cool. So I love the EREF auction. It's fun. I'm always entertained by auctioneers and how they're able to speak so quickly and so fluently. It's fun. It's a good time. I like the EREF auction a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and then everything else, we're on the show floor now. What we're talking about, I mean, just seeing the machinery, the Mac Ride and Drive, which will be just outside the convention center in the parking lot, things like that. It's just like every company shows up with something that makes everybody who attends want to come and not just gain knowledge, but you get to have that hands-on experience. And that's what I also love about the show.
I've never done the Mac Ride and Drive. Maybe this year, if I get a little bit of time, I'll stop over there. But it seems interesting. I'm afraid to drive big trucks. I don't know how that would go, but I would do it.
Oh, it's a blast. It's an absolute, you're missing out if you don't go.
I will try.
And also on the floor, we have a lot of our activities throughout the show floor and in the expo hall are tied to our conference program too. For instance, we have the food recovery forum and our organics recycling track. And we do have a zero waste lunch, which Gage, I know you have talked to the chef about it so far. What are you looking forward to in terms of food recovery and zero waste at the expo this year?
Always interested to see the zero waste aspect of Waste Expo. It's kind of where things need to go, and that's a big push. So like zero waste is kind of what we're looking at, because we're all producers and we want to be less producers. So talking to Chef Dylan, I won't try and pronounce his last name because every time I try it always comes out wrong. Chef Dylan, great guy. The head chef over at the Las Vegas Convention Center. Again, we'll be preparing the zero waste lunch, and I talked to him a little bit about this a few weeks ago, and he is just looking forward to getting the orders in, so he can kind of put together the menu for the zero waste lunch. And which he likes, because it's for him, it's almost puzzle solving. So it's like, all right, what scraps are going to be left over from these meals that I can turn into a gourmet meal for, showcasing what we can do with our food scraps or leftover food or something that someone else would consider is waste. So for him, it's a fun experience. And he also, he works there, but it's a learning experience for him too. He says he learns so much when WasteExpo comes in. So now other shows are being held at the Las Vegas Convention Center that they can use their experience with zero waste on and become not just WasteExpo having a zero waste aspect to it, but all these other shows now too. So it's not just for our week, but now our reach is growing to those other events that happens at the convention center. Mm-hmm. So being able to leave that knowledge, I think, is really important. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Chef Dylan comes up with this year. I'm looking forward to hearing what people think about that. And that's always an exciting thing. And I mean, having lunch in a dumpster, that's a cool thing to take home.
No, absolutely. What did I am curious. I can't remember. I wasn't there last year. What did they come up with last year?
The last year they did, it was a salmon dish, like a lemon crusted salmon using like leftover parts of a salmon that I guess people were like, that didn't look good. Purple cauliflower, a gazpacho with croutons made out of leftover like breads. And then there was a lemon creme brulee dessert, I think. Trying to remember. It was really good. I ate the whole thing. I was very happy to be able to like sit down and have lunch and talk to other people who are in food recovery and kind of get their take on the whole thing. It was a really good time. So I'd suggest go to it this year.
It's just, for me, I went, the 2 years ago when I went, the dish was it was crawfish cheesecake.
Oh,
one of the most interesting savory things I've ever had in my life. But it
sounds like the most Orleans things ever.
Oh yeah, it was such a creative use of the leftovers. And that's what I love to see here. We see this innovation on the floor and in the conference. We have the food recovery forum, organics recycling, we have sustainability talks, healthcare waste, the Stiefel Investor Summit that's on Monday. I'm probably missing a couple more things here. There's a lot, operations track.
I mean, it really just shows that this is an event for all walks of the waste industry, and we can all learn from each other. So like this is the place to be, and I'll keep saying it. This is like the place to be. This is the Super Bowl of waste, and this is the can't miss event of the waste industry for the year, in my unbiased opinion.
And we also have the CEO Spotlight with Patrick Dovigi of GFL. We're looking forward to seeing what the company is doing, what he's seeing in the industry, what the company is doing in the industry. Michael E. Hoffman always does a fantastic job asking those questions and getting that knowledge out to everybody who's attending. So I'm really looking forward to CEO Spotlight, something that it's great every year hearing from somebody, a C-suite executive in the industry and getting their thoughts on what's impacting the industry and where is it going in the future.
Yeah, it's always a good time to hear, because Michael does put on a really good interview, and because he is so in tune with the industry, obviously. And then it's always nice that when a CEO comes on and is like, okay, this is my thoughts on the trends right now. This is where I see the industry going. This is my experience. So it's really always, I mean, it's really insightful to listen to if you're a veteran of the industry or if you're new in the industry. I know when I first came here, the first CEO Spotlight I sat on was with Jim Fish, and I was like, wow, I learned a lot from that off the bat. So that kind of like projected me through learning more about the waste industry. So I think the CEO Spotlight is like a must see for everyone who attends.
Oh no, absolutely. So what are your favorite things to do in Vegas? We haven't even touched that. I mean, we're going to be in this convention center, and I know everybody comes and they want to do something. What do you do when you have that little time?
My favorite thing in Vegas is not losing money. I like all the options that Vegas has. I'm a shameless consumer. I like the shopping that Vegas offers. I like walking the strip. I like walking into the different casinos and just seeing the different layouts, the different interiors that they have. I really seeing the cool stuff that kind of sets each casino and hotel apart. I like just being a what's a good word here? Like a bystander. Like I'm not a gambler myself, but like I just like to take in the sights and the sounds for like 3 days. We stay there for a week and it becomes a little long, but it it's always fun. I always take back stories from Vegas and I'm like, it is a cool time. And I have friends who are like, oh, I would never go. I'm like, well, you should go once. It's a experience. It's unique. It is definitely built for all walks of life. And I hate the phrase, there's something for everybody, but there really is something for everybody.
Oh
I
yeah.
haven't seen any
I like
shows yet, but maybe one day.
Oh, I actually heard Post Malone's playing on Saturday night. So if anybody's
Yeah,
interested in that,
not me, but I'm sure somebody will
no,
want
we're
to
not
go.
coming until Sunday. So
Yeah, yeah, that's a good one. I don't need to see that concert. I'm sure Post Malone and Jelly Roll are nice people, but I'm not into the music.
yes, but I do know, one of my favorite things to do, I've been kind of hitting, if I ever have that extra time and it's open, like a museum. The Punk Rock Museum, which just opened a couple of years ago, I still talk about it. I was able to go last year and absolutely incredible. You can spend 3 hours in there. If you're into punk rock, you get to, there are people that are in there that are, from the band that give tours, and Fat Mike from NoFX, who, he's always there. He does weddings. And so like
Mhm.
for me, like I love finding those museums and then like getting that personal, like the thing about Vegas is that the people are there that, you go there to vacation. There's people that are there that you watch on TV and that and they're showing off their passions too. I mean, it's not just a gambling town. Like you said, there's something for everybody.
There's something for everybody for sure. This year, I think one of my missions was to hunt out like the best old fashioned cocktails I can find. Um, just speaking of museums, the Mob Museum apparently has a really good one. So I don't know that I'll have the time for it, but maybe I'll get over to their speakeasy and just be like, hey, I'll just take one of those and then leave.
Oh,
So
man, I love a good old fashioned. I guess we'll have to get over there if we get a chance.
yeah, I know there's a
Yeah.
highly rated one in one of the bars in Resorts World, which will be close to us. So I will have to check in on that one and try it out.
Yes, for sure. And I'm excited to see the Bellagio. They always have a great garden display, and every year, for me, I walk in, I just love the smell of the flowers. It just
Mm.
reminds me, first week of May it reminds me of spring, but like it hits you, and you're like, yes, spring is finally here. Waste Expo is here. The summer. Waste Expo is like the start to the summer.
Yeah, although last year when we got there, it was like 40 degrees again. So hopefully the weather's a little better when we fly in this year. I guess that we're about close enough to check the weather and be like, maybe it's a little accurate, but
The
I,
weather, it's going to be sunny. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time.
I, I'm really hoping so.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Are there any other events that, we've talked about so much right now, and there's so many things going on.
The
Um,
one thing we glossed over that I think we should talk about is the 40 under 40 awards.
oh no, absolutely. You did mention before you're doing that Rising Leaders session, but we
Mhm.
also have 40 under 40 and Women Who Inspire. And I'm glad we saved this for last because this is our favorite thing that we do every year.
This is the big one. This again, this is a celebration of the industry. It brings 40 young professionals who are making waves, who are just trailblazing through the industry, pushing innovation, being influencers. Honors them as well as the women who inspire. We've got a handful of women who are really making an impact and leading diversity and making a charge for other women in the industry. And it's a really, really special events that we can put on. And I'm glad we can take that time to celebrate, those individuals.
Yes, absolutely. It's a great thing to go to every year. Everybody's just, it's great to feel that energy in the room. Everybody's so excited about what's next. You have the 40 under 40 and now they're a class that's going to, they're going to innovate, and for them to all sit in that one room and they know they have not only that, support, people are, supporting them for their next endeavors. They're going to collaborate, they're going to network. And that's what I love about it is that we leave that room, they're going to be still talking to each other after. We're still going to see them at future Waste Expos. They really are leaders in the industry. So,
Yeah, something I've learned about Waste Expo is the more Waste Expos you go to, the more you realize like it really is a event that like just holds together people who are such innovators and change makers in the industry. Because like every time I talk to somebody, they're like, "Oh, I was a 40 under 40 winner 2017. Oh, I won it back in 2020 or whatever it is." I'm like, "Oh wow, I'm just surrounded by like people who are really making a difference. And that's something that's really special about Waste Expo. And that's why I like the 40 under 40 award show is a really special moment.
Yes, yes, it is. My dogs are barking in the background here.
Totally fine.
They're getting
Hey,
excited.
they're excited.
To come to Vegas.
Yeah, they're pumped.
Yes, yes. But I mean, like, it just sounds like, and also we have the Waste Expo booth. If you stop by there, we're gonna try and hang out there as much as we can. And hopefully get a couple hours there. We can just meet you guys. So if you see us at the Waste Expo booth, please come up. Feel free to talk to us. We want to hear what your thoughts are. We want to hear, what do you see going on in the industry, and what do you think is important? So.
Yeah, and if you guys don't come talk to us, I'm gonna come talk to you.
Exactly.
Make that a connection.
All right. Well, you know what? We better start packing because we do only have 1 week before the show here. So,
Man, as you can see behind me, this has been like the busiest week of my life. Getting ready for the show. The Nintendo Switch pre-orders launched. There's a new Ghost album, and I'm moving out of my house. As you see behind me, my room's barren right now. So it's like all these things compounding. But I could not be more ready. So I'm pumped to get out there. All the anticipation is building. I'm ready.
I know. We've been looking forward to this all year, and we look forward to seeing you. If you want to find out more about Waste Expo, go to wasteexpo.com. You can find the conference agenda. You can look up specific sessions. You can see the special events going on. Everything is there. And if you're looking for coverage, waste360.com will be broadcasting, or we won't be broadcasting live, but we will be recording podcasts there. We'll be keeping you up to date on what's going on, what our experts and our innovators have had to say at all of these conference sessions that we're having and on the trade show floor. So we look forward to seeing you in Las Vegas. And you know what? Like we both said, feel free to come up to us, or we'll look for you because we look forward to it.
Mm-hmm.